Hi guys, in this video I'm going to give you some examples to show you what's possible with Notion automations. The first example is a simple onboarding automation. So what it does, if we decide this customer is done, he or she is onboarded, the company is onboarded, the automation will automatically add the date it was onboarded, as you can see now, and add this customer to the active clients database with the status in progress. So how does it work? If we click on the little blue flash, we can see it's two automations. The trigger is if the onboarding status is set to complete. It will then add a new page to the automation active clients database with the triggers page project, which is the name of this column, and the status is in progress. The second automation is that it logs the date. You could put those two into one automation, but I prefer to have them in separate one just to have an overview which automations are there. Again, the onboarding status is the trigger, so if it's complete, it will then define a variable. The variable is date triggered and add this variable to the set date to variable 1. So the date is this column. Yeah, super easy one, but it's really useful. The next example is this one. This one is an automated timesheet. If I click on the start button, you can see it generates a new row with my name and the date and the time. But no end, no minutes worked. How does this button work? This button, if it's clicked, it adds a new page to this database called automated timesheet, and with the start column being the time triggered. Yeah, super easy. Time triggered in this case comes with the date, so it's date and time triggered. Yeah, if we click on the end button, which we can't do yet because it only works with minutes, not with seconds, and I clicked it less than a minute ago, but I will click it in a second. But what you can see is it edits a page that matches one filter, so it edits this row. And why do we add this filter? Because if we don't have this filter, which is and is empty, it will add an end to all of the rows. But we only want a end date to the one we just created. This is why the filter is when the end is empty, which is the row we just created. And again, it's the database automated timesheet, and it adds the time triggered. So yeah, quite simple. So what happens if we click on end? We click on end, it adds the time and date triggered, and then a simple formula calculates the minutes worked, and we have this really nice timesheet. Again, possible thanks to Notion automations. In this case, it's two button automations. The next automation we are talking about is the email automations. Right now you only can automate Notion with Gmail, but it's really powerful. So in this case we have a database called automated mails, and in this database we have some of our customers, and in this case I have to change it to not started because we want to run it again. And if I change the status to done, it will send an email to this email address of our customer with some informations. What are those informations? We can look at the automation, and as you can see here, this is the trigger. The trigger is the status is set to complete. It will send an email from my Gmail account to the email column, which is this one, which is defined as email. You can only use it with a email property in Notion, and then the subject is, you see, it's a liquid code, so it has the triggers page project name you can see here, and then some hard-coded text, and then a bit of text, and it adds the onboarding questionnaire, which again is a column here, and yeah, then sends the email. It's super easy. So let's just try it. We change the status to it's done. And then we can just go into my Gmail account, and as you can see here, this is an old one because it usually takes 2 to 3 minutes, but it will send this email to to whatever the customer email is with dear somewhere team. In this case, somewhere is the name of the company. Please fill out the survey, whatsoever. Really, really nice. So as mentioned before, it only works with Gmail right now. And if you use it for the first time, you have to set it up because you have to allow Notion to interact with your Gmail account, but it's really easy. So yeah, just go for it. Then the next automation we have is this automation, which is a contract generating automation. It's really nice. It works with Notion's automation feature, which is called Webhook. And so in this case, again, we have a database where we have the name of our customer, the legal name, and the address. And when we click this button, a contract is automatically created in Google Docs and saved in Google Drive. So right now, if we go into Google Drive, you can see there's nothing here. There's just 2 templates. If we now click on Create Contract, the automation runs. We go into Google Drive, and it takes some seconds, but sooner or later, the new contract pops up. As you can see here, it pops up. It's the Somewhere AG contract. If we open this contract, we can see that this contract is filled with the company name and the company address, and again the company name, which is really, really cool because it just takes those informations and puts them into Google Docs. As mentioned before, this is called a webhook. It works with the Make.com automation, and it just takes a contract template we created in Google Docs. As you can see here, those are the liquid parts of the contract, and replaces them with the one from the database and creates a new contract. Really, really cool one. And then the final automation is again with Google Docs, it's an invoice automation. So we have this invoice template in Google Docs. So that's the name of our company. And you can see all of those in the brackets are the liquid parts which will come from the database. And if we now click on you see we have the client name, the address, invoice date, due date. The due date is just a formula which adds 4 weeks to the invoice date, and then the billable hours, the hourly rate, and then it calculates the amount due. If you now click on generate invoice and we go back into our Google Drive folders, we can see there is no invoice yet. It again takes some seconds, and there we go, we have the invoice. We now click on the invoice and we see it automatically filled out all of those parts which were in the brackets with the data from our Notion database. So it's invoice date, the due date, it's billed to the company, the address, we have the rate, and again, until when this invoice is due. And it's super cool because it takes all of those information from our Notion database. We click the button and it sends it to Make or via Make.com via the webhook to Google Docs and generates this invoice. I hope this wasn't too much for you. I just wanted to give you kind of an idea of what is possible with Notion automations. I hope this video helped you. If you're looking for more of technical details, how you really can set this up for yourself or your company or your freelancer business, I put a link down below to our free Patreon page. Just sign up, and we post them around there more insights about the technical details. Thank you so much. Bye.